I had such a massive breakthrough with my dissertation and I don't even know how to talk about it. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Good morning, friends. We are now at episode 16 of the Dissertation Diaries, which is just wild to me. But in the recent episode, so many of you said that you really liked the voiceover, so we're going to keep it going. I got up in the morning and did my normal journaling practice. This has been really important for helping me clear my head as I get the day started. So even if I'm heading into town for the day, I do try to get up and do a little bit of journaling to get the day started. But then it was time to go ahead and get ready and head on into town and grab a train over to Cambridge. Good morning, friends. I got my morning coffee. We are heading to Cambridge today to hang out with Sydney and get some studying done. So let's head over to this train station and get over to Cambridge. I absolutely love the hustle and bustle of London in the morning, especially if I am not in a rush. And I've been really loving getting to play around with my camera and try different shots. And so as you'll see with this video, I experimented quite a lot with the different angles and just wanted to see what it is that I could get up to creatively with my camera. And I've just been really enjoying the process of not only sharing my dissertation through vlogging, but also capturing these really pretty shots with my camera and just getting to enjoy seeing the world from a different perspective. I recently posted a video about the documentary impulse of the vlogger. If you want to check it out, I'm going to have it linked down below. But I've really been enjoying the process of documenting and trying to capture these memories because I know that in a couple of years after I finish the dissertation, these are the moments that I'm going to look back on and I'm going to miss. And being a doctoral student is such a transient experience. For example, Sydney is about to finish her dissertation and she might end up on the whole other side of the world, and so I don't have many opportunities to spend time with her. And in a way, I feel like that makes it more special, knowing that this period of life, this chapter, is going to be short-lived, that it's only a season of your life while you're working on this dissertation, and wanting to ensure that you capture the moment and ensure that you hold on to these memories and have something to reflect on later on, because I know that I'm going to miss this life, this flexibility that I have as a doctoral candidate. And while writing a dissertation is perhaps the most stressful thing I've ever done, there's also moments of joy and fun and getting to connect with people that are similarly interested in research and want to pursue their intellectual passions but are also creative. Sydney, for example, has an Instagram called A Cambridge Chronicle where she talks about her experience on trauma therapy in developmental psychology, and she also takes really beautiful photos of Cambridge and writes these captions about her experience. And I just think that's what's really beautiful about capturing this moment as a doctoral student and getting to connect with other graduate students and other student creators and other creators in general that, you know, choose to keep our lives public in this way and get to share these moments with you all. And now for a quick message about the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is an online website builder where you can create and edit a website from scratch or using a template with no coding experience necessary. With features which allow you to customize fonts, colors, add a variety of blocks, images, and videos, you can make your website entirely your own. I've used Squarespace for 5 years now to operate my personal website and online businesses, and I even created a professional website for my friend Daniel, who needed a website to showcase his research as he enters the tenure market. With Squarespace, you have access to comprehensive analytics and e-commerce tools, making creating a website and starting your online business seamless. If you're interested in checking out Squarespace for yourself, use my discount code in the description below for a discount on your website, subscription, or domain. Now let's head on back to the vlog. I am now at home. I got back from Cambridge and hanging out with Sydney and got to have some dinner with my partner, and now it is time to edit a whole lot of YouTube videos. Put up a question box on Instagram asking what people wanted to know about being a full-time student and a profitable content creator. And so many people just seemed so shocked that I make money online. And I have had multiple businesses now that have been profitable and have had employees, and I have been making content and been making money from making content basically the entire time I've been in my PhD. But it wasn't enough to actually sustain me until this year. And I don't normally show the ins and outs, I suppose, of creating content, mostly because it's just boring. It's just me sitting on my computer, mostly doing editing. But I would love to share more about the process in the future. And I just don't know what people want to know and what they would like to see. So if you have suggestions or things that you would like to know more about, throw it in the comment section, because I would love to make more content about content and about business, but I just never know what people would like me to talk about, because I feel like most people only want me to talk about my PhD, and that is only a facet of my life. It's only a piece, a tiny piece of the pie in comparison to everything that I have going on in my life. Like today, I got to work on my dissertation, got to see my friend Sydney, we got some photos and some content, and I edited my reel for today, and it took me 5 minutes. Don't actually find that creating content takes that much time, and for sure, editing YouTube videos takes significantly more time than any other type of content that I've ever created, especially when I have videos that I would like the quality to improve. For example, getting videos on this camera is a lot more work than getting videos on my vlog camera. But I am just so curious if there's more that I can share, because I just don't really know what you would like to see. But I'm gonna edit 2 YouTube videos. I have one that's basically been rough cut already, and that's a vlog, and I would like that to go live tomorrow. I have a video for a brand that is a video that I've been wanting to create for a really long time. It's about the documentary impulse of the vlogger. Then I want to get working on another video that I filmed last week, which was time blocking a week in my life or a couple of days in my life. And I'm not going to be working on that one tonight, though. I'm just going to be realistic and just say that I can probably get the vlog done and the rough cut for the documentary video. And then I'm probably going to wake up early tomorrow and do the rest of the edits for the documentary video, because I would like it to go out to the brand early this week so I can post it on Friday. And I personally really like creating content and just posting it. I am impulsive, but when you work with brands and you have other considerations, it affects the timeline slightly. But I'm gonna go ahead and dive into a whole lot of work on my computer. friends, I am up bright and early this morning. I've got my matcha jasmine tea in hand. I have some edits to do on this video. It's a pretty complex edit, and so it's taking a while longer than a normal video would, and I'm trying to share more of the process of being a content creator. And normally I would just start my vlog later in the morning and not talk you through this process, but like I said, I want to share a little bit more about being a content creator. So I am editing this video, and like I said, it's a complex edit. It requires a lot of B-roll. And so instead of just kind of a rough cut of a vlog and adding some music and stuff, this one in particular is taking a little bit more time. So I'm going to be working on that for another hour. And then I actually need to like get up and wash my hair and get ready for the day, and then come back to editing before I head out into town to do some content shooting. So normally Tuesdays are dissertation days, but tomorrow I'm actually going to the British Library to get work done with my friend Mina, and so instead of working on the dissertation today, I'll be working on it tomorrow, and today will be a content day. So I normally do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all in PhD days, and then Wednesdays are my like content days. And this is not abnormal for a doctoral student. Many students at Yale have other positions that they can work for up to 10 hours a week. And so while I've gotten comments in the past where people say, is this PhD full-time? Like, how many hours do you spend per week on it? I usually work about 10 or so hours on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I do content work on Wednesdays. Other PhD students would have a research position or something along the lines of getting professional experience, about 10 hours a week. Not everyone, but it is common, at least at Yale, for people to have additional positions. And so it's not that outrageous that, you know, I spent a day working on content and I get the work done that I need to get done. So I want to make more videos about how it is to actually manage your time, but this is one of the ways that I do it. So I'm going to keep working on this edit and then get ready for the day. I am out in the town, heading over to the gym at Tower Bridge to meet up with Becca. We're gonna get some footage, I think, for her YouTube channel, and I am going to help out. So I got a lot of editing done, but not the entirety of the editing done. So I am going to need to do a bit of a late night because I'm not going to be home until like 6, and I normally am in bed by 9, but I have a feeling that's not going to be happening today. But my camera is very heavy, and I'm going to go meet up with Becca and get some footage. I am home from my day out on the town. I had a really nice hair appointment, and I have book mail. Some of it's research related in my defense, but most of it is not. First and foremost, I got Tom Mulaney's book on where research begins. I have a video that I want to create on selecting a research project, and I want to be able to talk about my anecdotal experience, but also give some solid advice for anybody in undergrad or that is thinking about applying to graduate school that needs a little bit of direction on planning out research. And like I said, I have my anecdotal experience, but I would like to see how it is that other professionals in the field of academia approach the topic. So I'm gonna be digging into that for research on this video. The second book I got is Kim Hall's Things of Darkness, Economies of Race and Gender in Early Modern England. And this is obviously for research. This is for the first chapter of my dissertation. I've been working on the legal history chapter in my dissertation recently, and I'm really excited to be able to move on to some stuff more related to literature, visual materials, etc. in the earlier chapters. So this is for when that process gets to begin, because I'm really excited for that change of pace when it comes. The other book that I got is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. I have been seeing this book and another one that I'm going to show you in a second all over Book Talk in terms of romantasy. I also follow a lot of fan art accounts, and they've been making a lot of fan art from this book, and I'm just really curious. I am needing a little bit of a palate cleanser after reading a whole lot of trilogies and series, and would like to dig into something that's in the early stages rather than something that has, you know, 15 books to digest over time, and very interested to read this one. The other book I got is Nicola Tallis's Young Elizabeth. I had just been digging more into Tudor history and got the book The Tower. I can't remember who the author is, but that one's about Mary Queen of Scots, and it's when she is pregnant with her second child and she's basically like imprisoned in Scotland. Just very interested in the late Tudor era and learning a little bit more about Elizabeth. I study the early modern period from a social history perspective, so I'm not somebody that has studied the royals significantly, and I'm just really curious. Kate is working on a lot of research about depictions of Queen Elizabeth as the Virgin Queen, and it just got me thinking that I would like to know a little bit more about Elizabeth. The other book that I got is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen. This is a book that Ashley has been reading. Ashley Aguirre is a student in my Digital Brand Accelerator course, and she is also a book talk / wellness and chronic illness content creator on social media. I'm gonna have her stuff linked down below because her content is just so good and it's just getting better. But she's been reading this book and she has been posting about it. It is a well-rated release. So I'm curious. Like I said, I'm wanting to dive into a little bit more romantasy, so I'm interested to read this one. But now I need to dive back into work. I have a call with Sarah Fisher at 8. She is a PhD student, or rather a PhD candidate at Indiana, and she is working on a rhetoric and composition dissertation on embodied practices of YouTubers or vloggers more specifically. And she talks a lot about audience awareness and self-awareness as a content creator. And a while back I had said to her that I would be happy to discuss vlogging and my experiences with vlogging if it's at all helpful, and she reached out the other day saying that she would like to take me up on my offer, which I'm really happy about because I also like to just hang out and talk to her. She's just somebody that I wish lived closer because she's just a cool person and I love her YouTube videos and learning a little bit more about her research. So I'm also gonna have her account linked down below because she is another PhD content creator that does a lot of vlogs and talks about the process of writing a dissertation. And I've just been really loving following along the journey. And she also is one of the content creators that posts the most consistently. And that's something that I look for when I am, you know, going and subscribing to new people. So now I am going to stop talking and do a little bit of work before the call and then hang out with Sarah and then do a whole lot more editing this evening. It's funny because so I talk about this in the video on the documentary Impulse. So I have like a folder on my computer on my hard drive, and it's just called like Being Original. The early mornings and the late nights are catching up with me. I am so tired. I am dressed and ready to go for the day. I'm heading over to the British Library to study with my friend Mina, and we're gonna stop by Yale near Great Portland Street beforehand. I am so sleepy. I finally got the video out to the brand. There's still more edits that need to go into it, but it's a video that I know is just going to take a really long time. I've already put in probably 10 hours of filming and editing, and that's honestly probably a conservative estimate because that doesn't even include the drafting and the edits and the redraft and all of that. But anyhow, I'm not complaining. The video is turning out so well and I'm really happy with it, but man, am I tired today. But I just wanted to check in this morning before I head out because I figured I wouldn't really have a chance to chat with the camera and give you a little update before I meet up with Mina and get over to the library. So it is time for voiceover Kaelyn to take over. So I will do a voiceover when I am at the library and tell you a little bit about what I'm working on, but it is time to head to town. And then maybe I can fit in a nap later today because I'm just like suffering.
Hi, Pooch. You're such a good pup.
All right, here we are back at the British Library and ready to get some dissertation work done. Every good day starts with Notion. I go ahead and check on my goals list and my tasks list so that way I am clear of mind and can focus on the dissertation for the rest of the day. So I go ahead and check up on that, and then it is time to jump into some primary source analysis. I'm still working through the statutes from Virginia. There are around 2,000 pages of statutes that I have to work through. So it's taking me a bit of time. I feel like every single video I come on and say that I'm working on the statutes of Virginia, and that is just the way that it is. But I was basically going through and coding any statute that seemed relevant. While most of the laws of colonial Virginia pertain to property and who has rights to certain property, it also has to do a lot with trade. There are various laws related to the regulation of sex, the labor of women, and how it is that women's labor is taxed. And so I'm basically writing down any law that seems like it could be relevant for my dissertation and adding it to this document that I then code into my database. Yeah, I remember my campus visit, and that was magical. It was like right before COVID. And yeah, so luckily we got to have an on-campus visit because many people didn't, because some departments had theirs scheduled after the spring break. And yeah, I just remember it being a really great time. I am obviously home. I had a call with a prospective student to Yale, and I had such an incredible day at the library. I got so much work done and found a bunch of statutes that I have not seen any historian talk about, and it's just mind-blowing to me. But I want to make sure that nobody has really talked about it. So I have this book by Kathleen Brown. It's called Good Wives, Nasty Wenches, and Anxious Patriarchs by Kathleen Brown. And I read it for comps, and if you've been following my channel for any period of time, you've probably heard me talk about that one and Jennifer Morgan's work countless times. They're just some of the most incredible scholars in this field, and the Kathleen Brown book in particular talks about the law of gender, or race and gender in early America, and more specifically in colonial Virginia. And because I'm looking at the colonial statutes from Virginia, I just want to see what she has to say. In my last video, I talked about moving away from looking at the secondary literature and instead just allowing the primary sources to inform my thinking. And now that I've gotten a little further into the process, it is time to go back to the secondary literature, because I think I'm at the stage where I'm ready to actually write, because I have so many thoughts bubbling and it's exciting, and I'm just relieved that it's finally happening. Because if you had talked to me like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have said I'm not ready to start writing, and it is a terrifying process, but finally it feels hopeful. So I am going to charge up my iPad and go into the living room and just do a little bit of reading on Kathleen Brown. And there's still so much more work to be done. I'm exhausted, but here we are. The book that I mentioned by Kathleen Brown is one that I actually have a physical copy of, but it's actually at Danielle's house in Pennsylvania. So I needed to download the digital copy, so I went ahead and looked on the right library sources through Yale and got it downloaded to my iPad. These clips are entirely out of focus, and I just didn't know. So I filmed them, but they aren't very good. But I just did some note-taking on the introduction and on the chapter on early modern conceptions of gender. And that was it for the day. It is about 9 o'clock. I got a bit of reading done from the Kathleen Brown book. Not as much as I would have liked, but I still have tomorrow, and I have to prep for my meeting with my advisor when I go to the library. But I am tucking into bed for an early night to read A Fate Inked in Blood. I talked about this in my book haul, and I just started it. It is a Norse-inspired fantasy, romance, romantasy. I don't know like what the actual mix is going to be, but Ashley seems to have really liked this book, or is liking this book, and I'm just so intrigued. And though I've been reading Times Convert recently, I just really want to dive into this. So I'm gonna tuck into my book, and I will see you all in the morning. Back to the British Library today to hang out with my friend Blair and get a little bit of work done. I am not going to bring my computer this time. I am just going to bring my iPad because I need to review the literature, as I was saying yesterday. And I have basically no clean clothing. So I am wearing my pair of jeans that like do not fit in the slightest. And we're just winging it. So I have my bag packed and ready to go, and now it is time to head to town. All right, British Library Day 2. We are working our way through Kathleen Brown's book, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what I'm highlighting. So I highlight in 3 ways. First, I highlight what the author has said and the main points that they make, and pieces that I would probably like to quote in my own research. And then the second thing I'm looking for is who they cite and who they're in conversation with. And I highlight that in a different color. I highlight that in blue. And then I also highlight primary sources. So if she were to mention a specific law or a specific judicial hearing, then I go ahead and highlight that in green so that way I can return to it. And I'm basically jumping back and forth between the endnotes and the actual text. If you've been watching my videos for some time, you know that I hate endnotes. I prefer footnotes just because it's much easier to access, but I'm basically just working my way through one of the chapters and trying to see what sources she's pulling from. And her main argument focuses on this law that's passed in the mid-17th century in Virginia about tithables. So it's about who is taxed, and essentially the argument is that white women were not taxed, and this is a point of departure for the way that gender and race is legalized. I am back home from hanging out with Blair and getting some work done at the British Library. I got about 50 pages into the Kathleen Brown book and found a bunch of sources that are really helpful. And also seeing that she has not made the same argument that I am, but we have a very similar approach to the study of race and gender in early America and in the British Atlantic. But I am hungry. I have like 15 minutes until this meeting with my advisor. So I made myself a matcha, some scrambled eggs, and an English muffin, just because that was what we had in the fridge. And now I'm just gonna do a quick little outline of what I want to discuss. My back is absolutely killing me today. It feels like I have somebody like splitting open my shoulder blade, and it is mighty painful. But I always try to avoid taking Advil, but today might be one of those days where I just have to. Ow. But that's neither here nor there. It's time to prep for my meeting, chomp down some food, and hope that this goes well. Luckily, this is a meeting that I actually feel really positive about because I have so much that I want to update them on. I have found a lot of sources in the archival records in the last like 2 or 3 weeks that I think are exciting in that it corroborates my hypothesis. And so I'm excited to chat with them about it and hope that it goes well. I think they forgot about our meeting, which is very frustrating. Great. Good morning. I did not vlog the rest of the day yesterday because I'm going to be honest, my advisor missed our meeting and I was a bit frustrated trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, but I have a game plan. We have a meeting set, so it should be fine. But it is very difficult trying to get people's FaceTime when you are away on research leave. And I am trying to get this chapter completed and I'm just struggling because I feel like I need a little bit more direction. I know what I need to do with the chapter. It's just making it cohesive because I feel like I just keep reworking the entire dissertation, like every 2 days. But I have a solid day of work today. I need to do some edits on my friend Daniel's website, and then I'm gonna go off to work out and then come back, and I have a full afternoon/evening of working on the dissertation and writing, because I'm leading the writing group for Accepted Society today, and my goal is to get some words on paper because I have some really great findings from the archive that I need to begin fleshing out. And sorry, I keep touching my hair. It's just driving me nuts today. But that is my little update. I'll give you more of a full update later on. I'm just not feeling great. If you cannot hear that in my voice, I am starting to get sick. But let's dissertate. I am back from the gym and I'm jumping on to a marketing meeting for Accepted. I'm meeting up with Kate and hopefully Elijah, so that way we can go over some social media strategy. We've been kind of slacking over the last couple months, I'll be honest, and need to get a move on. So Kate just joined the Zoom and it's time to get working. Yeah, so I'm that's on my to-do list for this week, is to film that. This is the thing I'm noticing, especially like with the website, and why I would also like to make a welcome video for the website. Well, we did a video a while back for Accepted Society that can go on the website, but the website needs a little bit of an upgrade, obviously. And I'll show you this one website that I found. Done with my meeting and am now running the writing group for Accepted Society, and I have my emotional support boba. I've got jasmine tea with coconut jelly, and I need to code 3 more statutes and then I need to start writing. It is not going to be an easy task. There is a lot of work to be done, but I need to honestly just suck it up and just start writing. I procrastinated long enough. I have let my own psyche get in my way far too many times. And now these are the consequences. And I actually need to get it done now. So join me for this wild journey as we write this dissertation. Man, what a day it has been. I had such a massive breakthrough with my dissertation and I don't even know how to talk about it. What I've been trying to argue with my dissertation is that the partis sequitur ventrum law, while seen on its own as an anomaly, as a divergence from the common law and the very paternalistic nature of English law, I've been trying to argue that partis is actually just part of this progressive evolution in lawmaking that was very intentionally laid out by English lawmakers. That it wasn't just something that was an unthinking decision, it was something that was intentional, and we need to hold these lawmakers culpable for the damage that intergenerational slavery and chattel slavery has had. I think I finally have enough source material in order to tell that story in the chapter. It just feels like such a great step forward. And now I have something I can really solidly say in the dissertation chapter. And I'm just so relieved. Working on this dissertation has been such an internal battle with this feeling of imposter syndrome and feeling like I am not the one to say this. I am not the one who should be conducting this research, and just feeling like I have nothing to contribute and just feeling honestly really stupid. And just feeling like the last couple of years with my dissertation, I just haven't made nearly as much progress as I would have wanted. Today, I just finally feel like I'm making a strong contribution to my field, but I feel like today was what I needed to put my mind on track and to feel like all of this is worth it. I'm just really glad that I was vlogging today and that I get to share it with you, and I'm just really proud of the progress that I've made, and I'm really proud of this project, and there's so much work to be done, but today was a small win, and I am just so grateful to this community, and I'm even more grateful to the Accepted Society community who has been with me in these writing groups twice a week and have been there listening to me ruminate, and for you all for listening to me ruminate. And this was a good end to the vlog. So thank you all so much for watching, and thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you'd like to check out Squarespace for yourself and learn to design your own custom website, then all of the links will be down below, as well as a discount on your subscription or domain. And I am going to call it a night. I'm going to read Times Convert by Deborah Harkness, which is very fitting. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, friends.